Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises, too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with a new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there?
Taking bribes.
Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
This isn't about attacking Buffy. Remember, I statements only. I feel angry. I feel worried.
Fine. Here's one. I feel worried. About me. Last time around, Angel barely laid a hand on Buffy. He was way more interested in killing her friends.
But he's better now.
Better for how long, Buffy? I mean, did you even think about that?
What is this? Demons Anonymous? I don't need an intervention here.
Oh, don't you? You must have known it was wrong seeing Angel, or you wouldn't have hidden it from all of us.
I was going to tell you. I was. It was just that I didn't know why he came back. I just wanted to wait.
For what? For Angel to go psycho again the next time you give him a happy?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, giving our review, our reactions. We are your hosts. I'm Joe Elke.
I'm Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 7, titled Revelations, directed by James A. Contner, written by Douglas Petrie? Whatever. Original air date November 17th, 1998, to an audience of 6.46 million people. And this was kind of a fun one. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it had some fun stuff in it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. The ball's rolling. They got the ball rolling.
Yeah. The show's starting.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Season 3 is starting, okay?
Yep.
Before we get into the episode, just a little show plug again. I'll be at the Madhouse Comedy Club in San Diego, July 8th and 9th. And there's 4 shows, 2 Friday night, 1 at 8, 1 at 10. And then 2 on Saturday night, 1 at 8 and 1 at 10. Please, I think we have links in the show notes of this episode, or at least the last episode.
Yeah, I'll put them in the show notes of this one.
Yeah, so if you want to come see me do some stand-up in San Diego, please come on out. Yeah. You got any plugs here, Vance?
No plugs for me.
Okay.
Keeping it pure.
All right, I'm sorry. Sorry for diluting the podcast, everybody.
No, we're all about the shameless plugs.
Hell yeah.
Shameful plugs.
Yes, absolute shame when I do this. All right, get into the episode here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we open the episode at the Bronze. The Dingoes Ate My Babies are playing. Seth Green's got a nice little yellow and black checkerboard shirt on, looking real cool, real guitarist. And Xander and Willow are being real awkward around each other because they have been doing the smoochies. They've been cheating like some motherfugs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I don't know what's going on here. And Cordelia starts to get a little suspicious about Willow. And she's kind of like, what? And then they're also suspicious about, like, where's Buffy at? We haven't seen Buffy in a minute. And then Willow is basically like, maybe she's got a boyfriend that she's not telling us about. And then just as she's saying that, Buffy walks up. She's like, what you guys talking about? And then Oz at this point has already got off the stage and already sprinted to Willow. He's like, we're talking about the boyfriend that you have that we made up in our imagination.
And somehow music is still playing. Like a band is still performing. Because they start clapping at the end of a performance.
Well, I mean, they do play house music after bands are done and they're setting it up.
If they're playing
again.
house music, you wouldn't clap.
That's true.
You don't clap for the radio or the DJ.
You never clapped for house music, Vance? Oh, I know this one. Yay.
I'll sit in a Starbucks and just clap every time a new song comes on.
Yeah. So Buffy is basically like, well, I do have someone that I'm seeing tonight. And everyone's like, ooh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And then Faith shows up. She's like, it's me, motherfuckers.
Might as well, right?
And Buffy's like, sorry, I got a hot date out in the graveyard with this one over here.
I'm sure Willow would be super jealous if she wasn't already in a love triangle.
I know. Dude, there's so many love triangles in the show. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
It's insane.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So Buffy and Faith go out to the graveyard and they're doing their patrol. They're doing their rounds and they start fighting some vampires. And it's 2-on-2. Buffy's fighting one vampire, Faith's the other. And Giles is just sitting on a tombstone with a book, like reading and looking up at both Buffy and Faith who are fighting these vampires. And he's looking at them like he is so annoyed.
I wrote creepy Giles watching girls slay in cemetery.
I mean, he looks like he's in a library and someone's making noise and he's about to say something to be like, hey, could you keep it down?
Yeah, and he's got like a book out. He's got like tea. It's just...
His glasses are like down.
What is happening? Like, I'm like, what? If you walked up on that after they killed the vampires, you'd be like, what is going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, and somebody does walk up on them. Mm-hmm. So Buffy and Faith slay the vampires, and then some British lady walks up. Her name is Gwendolyn Post. She's like, oh, you guys, you're wasting so much time. You guys aren't doing this slaying properly. And everyone's looking at her like, who the fuck are you? She's like, I'm Gwendolyn Post. I'm Faith's new watcher. And everyone kind of looks at her like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
You know what's funny is we've seen like a glimpse of Buffy's previous watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just an American, like an older American guy with a mustache.
That was her watcher? I thought it was like her recruiter.
No, the one that trained her in the flashback.
Faith's?
No,
Buffy's?
Buffy's. We never seen Faith's previous watcher.
I don't remember seeing Buffy's previous watcher at all.
In the Angel episode where he's going back in time, we see her in high school and we see her watcher get her and then train her in the cemetery when she's in high school.
Yeah, I didn't think that was her watcher.
Yeah, that was her first watcher.
Oh, okay.
What, you thought it was just some random guy?
I thought it was the guy, like the recruitment officer from the Slayers Incorporated. You know, the people that fucking recruit people in the military aren't your drill sergeants.
We have not seen anybody. We have not seen anything to show any hierarchy in the council.
That's true.
Why would he not be a watcher?
I just didn't think it was the watcher. I thought that was just a guy that works with the watchers and be like, hey, you need to come with me.
He didn't hand her off to Giles.
I guess you're right.
Anyway, I was just saying it's interesting that this new watcher is also like a British person.
Yeah.
Very stuffy, uptight seeming British woman.
I also have to say, Joe's fashion corner moment here. Buffy is wearing a beanie that's all black. She's wearing like a crook outfit, like a crook's outfit, like she's going to go burglarize something. But on the black beanie, it's a glittery text that says bomb. And it is so hideous to me. Like if it was just a black beanie, fine.
No, we made fun of her for just having a black beanie too.
Well, because the black beanie that she had previously had a tag sticking out. That's not cool. But this bomb fucking beanie, awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's so late 90s. Like, I know that was the style at that point, but it looked so stupid and silly. And especially with like her all black, like, I'm going to be like out sneaking around. Well, Faith doesn't even put any effort into that. I didn't really notice
it as much until the next scene when they're in the library. And it's just like, what is going on with that?
Yeah, it's so bad, dude. But yeah, then they're in the library and Gwendolyn Post is like, I'm your new watcher. And Faith's like, I don't really need a new watcher. I kind of like having no watcher. And we're just like hanging out with Giles and Buffy. And Gwendolyn Post then starts basically belittling Giles's library. She's belittling the job that he's done. She's like, Faith, you need more proper training. Giles, where are all of your books? Is this it? And he's like, what do you mean is this it? This is a whole library. And she's like, wow, amateur.
Yeah, she book shames the hell out of him, which is crazy because we know that his library contains everything.
Yeah, well, apparently it doesn't, because she asked him about a bunch of books that he doesn't have. And then she finally gets to one and he's like, I've got like the third chapter of it. And she's like, wow, Giles. Wow.
Later, Giles does this, but he is like, how are you a watcher with a slayer and you're not confident?
Right?
You have saved the world you have been told about you saving the world on like many different occasions.
You've had the details of your world saving relayed back to you several times. Because you have not been conscious.
Through your concussion fog. But yeah, it's like you would think that if there was a slayer, you'd like, let's get our best watcher to be the watcher for that slayer.
Yeah. And Gwendolyn Post is also like, I'm here to report on what's going on here in Sunnydale, and I'm here to report on you, Giles, and I'm reporting on you, Buffy, and I have to do a report back to the council. And Giles is like, oh no, this is worrying. And she says that he's been too American in his watcher training stuff, which is like the highest of insults. So you're a bit too American in you. And then Giles was like, oh, how dare you?
You know that country we lost to.
Yeah. But then she also drops the bomb that a demon called Lagos is coming to Sunnydale, and he's looking for the glove of, what is it, midichlorians or whatever?
I don't know. I just called it the power glove.
It's the glove of Mitigan.
Okay.
It's the glove of Mitigan. And
none of that matters.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So she's like, all right, Faith, come with me. We're going to go and start training now. And Faith's like, oh, okay, fine. Faith just gets up and leaves. And then Buffy's like, well, she's definitely interesting. How about I kill her? I'll kill her. And Giles is like, no.
Wait, can we kill her? And I was like, interesting, Buffy. Interesting your mind went there.
Yeah, and Giles is kind of like, no, even though I wish that we could, because she was so condescending to me.
That's just called being British.
Yeah.
You should be used to that.
You want to see some American shit? I'm going to get my slayer to fucking kill you. How American is that?
Watching this, I was like, why does Faith just go, well, the council said it, I guess I have to do it. Like, we don't know enough about this council that someone just shows up.
I feel like there should be like a memo sent out.
Memo. I think he references that something later, like there was a memo or something. The last line he says, but it's just like there should be some like, hey, what's going on? She just showed up. She knew to walk right to the graveyard because I guess that's where all the vampire slaying happens.
Yeah. I wonder how many graveyards she went to. Like just like 4 graveyards, just her walking around. Like, oh, okay, nobody.
Because later he asks, he's like, oh, he'll be at the graveyard, and he's like, well, there's 12 in Sunnydale.
Yeah.
So how did she find them?
She went to 4.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, the council sent me. Okay, I guess. Faith is like, I guess I got to do whatever this cult tells me to do.
Yeah, no background checks, nothing. So then the next scene is, I'm so glad that they're continuing this.
I'm trying to think if was this a time in the 90s where like Tai Chi became like very popular.
I have no idea. Maybe it was like when Three Ninjas came out or something, and people like around the same time as Ninja Turtles or something. But they're like, we got to incorporate some kind of martial art type of thing, and we can't. So Shirtless Angel and Gym Clothes Buffy are doing sweaty Tai Chi together. And then Angel comes up from behind her and basically does the ghost. Patrick Swayze, let me place your hands where they need to be.
Well, it's really weird because they're side by side, then they turn and he's behind her and she's in front of him and their hands are up in the air. And he like reaches over her and their hands touch and we get another thumb touch orgasm.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's just like he's so creepily behind her and just like putting her hands down and caressing her. And then Buffy turns around and they almost smooch. And then she turns away and she's like, no. And then Angel's like, hey, dude, what's going on with us? What are we? What's happening?
Yeah.
Are you still with that Scott Hope guy? We still don't know if you're dating Scott Hope.
She's like, who?
Sorry, I can't. You know I can't do this. I'm sorry, it's the mistake. I'm just confused. And Angel's like, damn. All right, fine. And Buffy's like, I just don't know how to quit you, Angel. And then she's like, here, let's change the subject. Apparently this big demon Lagos is coming. And Angel's like, Lagos? Oh my God. And Buffy's like, yeah, apparently wants some kind of glove or some shit.
Yeah.
And Angel's like, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like a lot.
I love that Buffy finally has the line that I've always wanted. She's like, well, that's just another Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude. You fight a demon every like week. At a certain point, you would just get jaded. You wouldn't be like, oh no, someone with a glove? Like, you've had hitmen after you.
You had the
Angel
judge.
After you.
You had the judge who was the destroyer of worlds or whatever.
Yeah.
And no weapon forged by man could stop him. And now this guy just wants to get a glove.
You're just like,
fuck out of here.
Yeah, like, we'll find out where it is. I'll punch him because you can punch anything.
Yeah. Dude, demons are so weak.
I do love that she'll just walk into a battle barehanded.
Yeah,
they
like
have all
no
these
plan
weapons.
of attack. She'll walk into a battle barehanded with an innocent bystander. Like someone that just cannot defend themselves at all.
Willow, come with me. We got to beat up a demon. Should I grab a cross or anything? No. Just leave. Leave all your stuff behind.
We know that the crosses don't work. So Angel's concerned. He's like, oh man, Lagos, that's really dangerous. Good luck out there and be careful. And Buffy's like, okay, sure. So then Giles is researching in the library with Xander and Willow, and he's stressed the fuck out because he's getting a report done about him, and he's got to actually be on his top behavior because Gwendolyn Post made him feel bad. She emasculated him for having a small book collection.
And then Giles takes that out on Xander.
Yeah, which is always hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Xander, he hates Xander. It's so funny.
You would have thought that Xander actually slept with Miss Calendar.
Yeah, he like suffers none of Xander's nonsense at all, except for that fucking moon pies joke, which was very weird.
Really weird.
But then they're like, okay, well, we'll go upstairs in the stacks and we're going to do some more research. And Giles is like, I'll be down here. And so they sit down and Willow is like, man, I don't think I can do any more research. Giles is really riding us hard. And Xander sits down right next to her and she's got a headache and he starts massaging her head. And he's like, don't worry, I'll massage your head. It's all going to be cool. And then they start to get close together and they're almost about to smooch. And Xander has this very weird speech about like, I know that we can't do this because, you know, consent is key. And you said no. And no means no. And I respect that. And then he like stops massaging her. And then she turns away, turns right back into his face. And they start passionately going at it, dude.
Yeah. The makeouts in the show, man.
They are necking, bro. Hard. And then we get a shot. This is a beautiful shot They're making out super hard, and then you see Giles just enter the frame, and it has this like violin music, like the drama's coming, but you can see that Giles's feet are turned away from them a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then Giles is like, hey, you guys want to research this thing? And then they snap out of their passionate makeout session, and then they both stand up and like, wait, what? What are you saying with Giles? What? We weren't doing anything suspicious.
Yeah, I think he found it. Like he's got his head buried in a book, and I was so happy he didn't find them making out, because I was like, I don't care if Giles finds out.
Yeah,
like I don't want to watch Giles hide a secret from
Cordelia and Oz.
Yeah. Like I don't. That's not going to be fun for me to watch him go.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then I'm like, also, he has all the answers in his book.
Yeah,
she's library shaming him, but he finds a demon every time.
She's library. He just consolidated all the information he needed into like 12 books.
Yeah, and some of it's scanned on that computer.
This is going to be a very juvenile nitpick.
Go for it.
About this, but I would just love to see this, but I know that they'll never do this, and I know that. I wouldn't say I would love to see
the
this.
show is called Boys Watching Buffy, not Men Watching Buffy. So
That's true. So after they're like passionately making out for a good, I'll say minute, Xander and Willow stand up. I would just love it one time. Xander has a boner.
You've been clamoring to see a Xander boner since the show started.
That's the fucking J. Cole wrote a whole song about it. About fucking, I hope the teacher don't make me stand up or whatever, because he's got a boner in class. Like, they were making out so hard, and this is teenage, high school, hormonal fits of sexual tension. He would totally have a boner when he stood up immediately. He didn't like try to hide his dick or anything. Like he did. He should have a messenger bag, like hide it on top of his wiener.
Buffy hasn't crossed the line of killing a regular person yet, and yes. I don't think the censors are going to let them cross the line of a straight up boner.
I know, but that's what would happen. You know, you get it. You remember high school.
The pants were baggier back then, you know?
That is true. The pants were baggier.
He's not in some skinny jeans.
That's all I'm saying. Little nitpicky boner moment, all right?
I like it's nice to know how you're watching the show.
Yeah.
You're not like, I don't care if Giles.
But dude, I just remember being in high school and like making out that hardcore. If I stood up, your boy would have had a boner.
You went to an all boys high school, right?
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vance. I'm straight as an arrow.
Nothing wrong with it if you weren't. I just want to, you know.
Yeah. You get it. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, Giles found out where the glove is. It's in the cemetery, one of the 12 cemeteries of Sunnydale. So Faith and Buffy are walking around the city, and Faith is kind of lecturing Buffy about like, I don't trust men. You can never trust men. Anyway, are you seeing anybody? Are you dating anybody?
This is the second time Faith has gone on a men suck rant.
Yeah. That's just like what she does.
At a certain point, let's just have an ex-boyfriend show up and actually show this instead of having her just show up and be like, men suck. I have no context.
It's not even like that men suck. It's that she's like, I fuck all kinds of men. I use them and then discard them because they suck. But Buffy, what's your love life like?
Yeah, it's like, men suck. Let's use some and treat them like shit.
Yeah, I also love her line here of like, Buffy's like, oh, I don't really have anything going on. And then Faith is like, come on, you gotta tell me something. I mean, you boinked the undead. What was that like? And Buffy was like, I mean, it really wasn't anything special.
I'm still dealing with it. I don't want to talk about it.
I had to stab him in the gut. Don't worry about it. No big deal. You boinked the undead. I mean, come on. Details.
Buffy has no frame of reference, though.
That's true. All she has boinked is the undead.
Yeah. Like, you have to
Unless she boinked Scott, which I don't think she boinked Scott.
No, she did not.
Let's keep saying boinked. We got to bring boinked back.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was like one of my favorite lines in Road Trip That movie with Tom Green. What a great movie. Anyway, so yeah, Faith and Buffy's like, I kind of want to go home. And Faith is like, well, we're not done patrolling. And Buffy's like, yeah, we can. Or
yeah,
she's
I think Faith wants to go and do it alone. And Buffy's like, no, you shouldn't. And she's like, oh, that's fine. And for me, it's one of these weird things where everyone talks like having two Slayers is a normal thing.
That's what I was just about. They were always
it would always just be one person.
Dude, the whole first 2 seasons, Buffy's going around alone.
Yeah.
That's what a Slayer does. And now that Buffy's like, it's not safe. You shouldn't go alone. It's like, you've been doing this for forever.
Yeah, and the new Watcher, I think it might be a later scene. She's like, oh, our plan will be, let's have the 2 Watchers together. Or let's have the 2 Slayers together. And we'll run a plan. I'm like, how is that your plan? That's always going to be your plan if there's 2. But what's the plan if there's only 1 Slayer? Which there only is supposed to be just 1.
There's only supposed to be 1. And previously, there only has been 1. And then Kendra would like show up every once in a while. Which, again, done dirty.
Yep.
But I mean, it's like this fight is so bizarre because that's what a Slayer does. Is
it was
only
like
supposed to be 1.
It was like when she first showed up and they were just walking and patrolling and they get jumped by vampires. And it's like, and then Buffy's like, help, Faith, why are you pummeling the 1? I'm like, Buffy, normally this would just be you having to figure out how to get out of this.
So Faith is like, I'm going to the graveyard alone. I'm going to go look for Lagos or whatever. Buffy's like, all right, I'm going to go home. And they're doing this conversation outside of the espresso pump, which I was happy to see make a return.
Oh, that's a staple of the show. They got that set built. It is there.
They need to make more use of it. Like, they don't meet up at the espresso pump.
There's a lot of episodes left.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of episodes left. I mean, Buffy's definitely going to get a job at the espresso pump.
You think no.
Because she's not getting into college. You hear how bad she did on the SATs, man? She's not getting into college.
All she needs is Giles to hem up Principal Snyder.
That's true.
Or Willow to hack into the grade system. It's too easy.
Is there a Sunnydale Community College? Because I can see
a college there in Sunnydale.
There's definitely a college, yeah. All right. So Faith goes to the graveyard alone, and she sees a demon like going through something, like just like rummaging through a grave, and she cracks her knuckles. She's like, oh, son of a bitch, it's my lucky day.
Yeah.
This demon.
So easy. Just stumble on him. Yep.
So she runs up towards this demon, jumps off of a tombstone to drop kick him. And this demon turns around, and it is not a vampire. It is like a demon full on. It has like this orc look to it. It's got like tusks and shit going on.
Some chainmail, like armor type.
Yeah, it looks medieval kind of.
You know, something if you saw walking down the street, you'd be like, that's something. I'm going to cross the street. I'm going to cross the other side of the street.
Even if I saw a regular guy wearing that, I'd be like, I'm crossing that. Because either that guy is dangerous or a complete nerd, and I don't want to talk to him. Fucking Renaissance fair dorks.
Yeah.
So she goes to drop kick him, and it has like very little effect. And this demon just beats the shit out of Faith. Picks her up over his head, chucks her into a fucking giant tomb, and she gets wailed on. And then he just leaves. Doesn't try to kill her. He just like walks past her. And
does he get something out of the tomb?
I think he's looking for the glove, but the glove is not in that tomb.
Yeah.
And it's so ridiculous that like
he
none
punches
of these
her back like twice. Like and she's like, "Oh man, I've never been hit hard before."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh God," and then he just walks away. He's like, "All right, I'm done with you. You're good. Until next time, Faith." And he's like, "Okay." So part of the things that after Giles said that he knows where the glove is, Xander is like, "I'm going to go to that cemetery and I'm going to find the glove. Willow, you stay here and research." So this next scene is Xander walking alone in the cemetery like a fucking dope. And he even makes mention of it.
Yeah, he is accurately afraid of what he's doing.
He's walking, he's talking to himself. He's like, "Oh, Great idea, Xander. Go walking alone in the graveyard at night when you know that there's vampires and demons all the time, just to avoid an awkward conversation. Real genius idea.
Which I think absolutely needed to be said.
Yeah, no, for sure. So he then sees somebody walking into the tomb that he knows where the glove is, and he ducks behind a tree and he starts spying on this person. And who is it but our boy Angel going into the tomb to retrieve the glove for himself? And this raises a lot of suspicion with Xander. He's like,
as it should.
Okay, number one, what the fuck? Angel's is still alive and he's back. Number two, he's stealing the glove that I came here for. And the last time we saw Angel, he was evil. He's stealing the glove. Maybe he's going to use it for nefarious purposes. I don't like any of this shit happening. And then he decides to stalk Angel and he starts following him. He's like, what's he going to do with this?
And he pulls out a stake. I didn't realize he had a stake.
He had a big stake too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not fucking around with these vampires, dude.
Yeah.
So good on him, number one, for having the stake.
Yeah.
Pulls out a stake, starts stalking Angel, follows him back to the abandoned mansion, looks through the window and sees Angel and Buffy making out. And this raises even more suspicions from him. He's like, what the motherfuck is going on? This is crazy. And he's absolutely right. From his point of view, he's absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course. Yeah. She's making out with Angel, who's hidden in secret, who also just stole the weapon they're looking for.
Yes.
I wonder if Buffy wasn't there, if he would have just stayed there until morning. And I don't know if these vampires actually like sleep, like they don't do like the coffin sleep all day kind of thing. But like, I think he was going straight for the kill regardless. I think Buffy being there is the only reason he didn't.
Exactly. If Buffy wasn't there, I think he would have tried to sneak up behind him and just fucking staked him right in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been... I mean, this is drama, dude.
Yeah.
This episode raises the drama levels a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we knew eventually they would find out about him, but I like the way this happened.
Yeah, same. So he sees them making out, and he's just looking through the window. He's like, son of a bitch. This guy tried to destroy the world, and Buffy's making out with him, and I can't get any play?
Yeah.
Get out of here. So Buffy then pulls away from making out with Angel, and she's like, we shouldn't be doing, I don't know what I'm doing. What are we doing? I can't be doing this. I gotta go fight Lagos. I gotta go find the glove of Midigon. And Angel's like, guess what, babe? I already got that glove of Midigon for you. Here it is, wrapped up real nice for you. And she's like, oh, cool.
What baby wants, baby gets.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, cool. This is great. I'll tell Giles tomorrow when I see him that I got the glove. And Angel's like, do you want to take it with you? And she's like, no, we can leave it here. Bad idea.
Yeah. No, I think leaving it there was probably better because, like, the library can't handle another remodel.
Yeah, that's true.
You bring it there,
Fair.
It's just going to be another fight.
But then, like, she's going to have to go there. Like, Giles will be like, where is it? And she's going to be like, oh, I have it stored away. Like, everyone's so vague about all of their shit in the show that, like, I would be asking so many more questions. Like, no, but where? Let's go get it and destroy it.
Yeah.
But anyway. So then we have Giles researching about the glove of Midigon and Lagos with Gwendolyn Post, who shows up. And he finds some glove information. He's like, oh, look, I found it. And then Gwendolyn's like, oh, you found a drawing of it. There's also words in that book, Mr. Giles. I'm like, wow, what a bitch.
I thought they were going to hook up at something at this point when they were in his back office. I was like, I don't know how this like beating him down, this brow beating, it's just going to turn into like a hookup.
Well, is this when they're at his... This is when they're at his apartment, actually.
Is this his apartment or the office?
Yeah, they're at his apartment right now.
Yeah.
Because he's like, after she makes fun of him for not reading the words, he puts the book down and he's like, how about some tea?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, cool. And Gwendolyn Post is like worried about Buffy. She's talking. She's like, she's really a maverick, like loose cannon dude. Like, this is wild, like how you're running things. And Giles is like, trust me, Gwendolyn Post, I've got everything under control. And right after he says that, Xander bursts into his apartment. He's like, Giles, I got some bad news. There's some danger happening. It's about Buffy. And then Giles is just like, puts his tea down. He's like, son of a fucking bitch.
It's like, Xander, you motherfucker. How many times I told you not to come on next?
So then he puts the tea down, walks over, and he's like, Gwendolyn, excuse us for a second. I need to talk to Xander. And he walks over, and Xander whispers in his ear about what's going on with Angel and Buffy. Mm-hmm. And then Gwendolyn's looking kind of like raising her eyebrow like these people have no idea how to slay or watch anything.
Yeah.
And so Giles is looking and he's like, son of a bitch, this is the worst news ever. So the next day at school, we have Buffy walking into the library and she's like, bursts in. She's like, Giles, guess what? I got the glove. No big whoop. I got it. There's going to be no danger in Sunnydale. Wait a second. Why is everybody in the library staring at me? This is an intervention.
Yeah. This is the big intervention scene.
And it's Xander, Cordelia, Giles, Willow, and Oz. And Buffy's like, what's up with all the tragedy masks? And Giles is like, Buffy, have a seat. Xander stands up, kicks his chair over to Buffy. She sits down, and Giles is like, Buffy, we know that Angel's alive, and you've been keeping it a secret from us. What the fuck? And Buffy's like, how did you guys know about Angel? And then Xander's like, I saw Angel last night take the glove, and I followed him back to the mansion, and I saw you two making out. And Buffy's like, you were spying on me?
I highlighted that in my notes.
Yeah.
He was not spying on you at all. Spying on you would involve him knowing that you were there.
Yes.
He was doing the job of slayer, watcher, friend. Like, I don't know what their role is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's tracking down the glove. He finds Angel. He follows him back to the hideout, and you're there. Not spying. Not spying at all.
He did stay to watch him make out for a little bit.
I mean, you have to confirm.
Yeah. But Xander is like going in on Buffy. He's like, Buffy, what are you fucking thinking, dude? Like, this guy tried to end the world. He killed some of our friends. He tried to kill all of us. And Willow is basically trying to be peacekeeper and be like, guys, this is not how this is supposed to be going. We're supposed to say I statements. Like, I feel like blah, blah, blah. And everybody's just going in on Buffy. Like, Cordelia's going in on Buffy. Xander's going in on Buffy. Giles is like kind of staying quiet. Oz isn't really saying much.
Oz doesn't get a chance to do anything this episode. He just like...
He just sits there and like looks.
Yeah, it was really weird. And Xander brings up Miss Calendar, like he brought up Miss Calendar the last time they had an argument whether or not to kill. And again, it's like he
loves throwing that in her face, dude.
He throws the Miss Calendar out. No mention of Kendra at all.
Yeah.
I guess like that was more
still
Drusilla,
getting done. Yeah, still getting done dirty.
Technically, Drusilla killed Kendra, but yeah, it's just like, oh, the Miss Calendar card. He plays it every time he gets a chance. And it doesn't really seem to like register to Giles anymore. Giles has his own other issue that comes up later.
Well, it's also like, so Buffy says something about like, if I thought that Angel, if I couldn't handle Angel, I would tell you guys. And then that's when Xander's like, oh, you thought that you could handle him when he killed Miss Calendar. And then Buffy goes in on Xander and she's like, are you only bringing this shit up because you're jealous because you want to make out with me and you want to neck with me and Angel gets to do that and you're just a fucking jealous piece of shit. And Xander just kind of laughs in her face like, I mean, good one. That's certainly true. I'm going to act like it's not, but we all know it's true. There is a little bit of jealousy, but he does have a lot of good points here.
He had good points last time he brought it up. And there's a key line here that's really interesting where she's like, oh, I can handle him. He's like, until you give him the happy again.
Oh, yeah.
because that's what he's afraid of. If she sleeps with him again, and they referred to it as the happy.
Yeah.
Which I noted because it comes back later somehow in this episode.
It's very odd. That phrasing is very weird.
Yeah. And I mean, Buffy doesn't really have a leg to stand on. She's
Absolutely
like, I was going to tell you at some point. I didn't know how to bring it up. It's like, if she didn't love this guy, she would have just easily killed him.
Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, and Willow's all upset.
I did want to bring this up. They never bring up that whole thing from the second season finale.
Yes, I was going to bring that up later on about Xander not telling her.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to...
He never faces any ramifications yet.
Yeah, I thought that was going to come up here, where Willow's like... Or like Xander would be like, oh, he's a bad guy, you know it. And she's like, he's changed. And, it's like, oh, Willow would be like, oh, like the spell worked, like how you told her. And she'd be like you told me? What? Like, I thought it was going to come out in this intervention to give Buffy a little leg to stand on.
Yeah, that's
right
what
now
I thought
she doesn't
too.
have anything.
Yeah.
Right now she's just kind of like, but you don't know him like I do.
So everybody's upset. Willow is very sad about how this is all going down. And Giles eventually is like, you know what? Enough, everybody. Buffy gets it. She knows that we're disappointed in her. Everybody, you all got to go to class. And so they all go to class.
He's like, all right, get back to your classes. Like, did the librarian say, hey, I need to talk to these students?
Yeah, he just gets to fucking pull them all out and go to the library. So everybody leaves. Giles goes into his office, and Buffy goes and walks in his office, and she's like, hey, thanks for covering for me out there. Like, in what world do you think?
No, she said, thanks for taking the heat off me a little bit. Because he didn't just go in on her. He's like, hey, she knows. He definitely de-escalated it.
Yeah. After kicking everybody out. So she goes, she's like, thanks for putting out some of those fires or whatever. And he's not even looking at her. And then he turns around and he's basically like, shut the fuck up. And she's looking like, what? And he's like, you have been keeping a secret from me about Angel. You've been keeping a secret about Angel being alive from all of us, which is not only dangerous, but I also would like to remind you that Angel tortured me for hours and hours and hours. So that's fucked up as well. And it's very obvious that you don't have any respect for me and you don't have any respect for the job that I'm doing. So I'm fucking pissed. Sits down with his little pinky ring, turns around, doesn't even want to look at Buffy. And Buffy, Sarah Michelle Gellar's acting here, I think, is terrible. Because she doesn't look remorseful. She doesn't look sad. She just kind of looks like, no, well.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember exactly her look response, but I think I was so locked in on Giles because he nailed it.
He absolutely nailed it.
Just killed this scene. Like, it's one of those ones where, like, you're in the scene. The scene's written very well. The actor performs it great, and it's just like.
And I'm glad that he brought up the torture because I forgot about the torture.
Yeah.
And he's like, I remind you that your boyfriend that you've been smooching with for however long that he's been alive again fucking tortured me.
Yeah, he did ball stuff.
And you probably ball stuff.
If he would have said probably ball stuff.
And it's just like, that was such a powerful moment of like Buffy coming in and like being honky dory, like, oh, thanks for getting everybody off my back. And then he's like, no.
Yeah.
You need to realize this is fucked up what you're doing.
Well, it's like, all right, we don't care about Miss Calendar anymore, but what? Our precious Angel hurt our darling Giles? Like, now we're torn.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely should have brought up Miss Calendar as well.
He never brings her up first.
He never brings her up.
It's like so many people. And Cordelia was really just worried, like, oh, last time he promised to kill all of your friends, and I'm one of them. So,
yeah.
I did like the lack of respect element there. That was a seed that was planted by the new Watcher.
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, because I mean, when Xander when he's like, I got everything under control. Giles is trying to look legit in front of this new lady who's a hard ass. Mm-hmm. And this just goes to show, like, wow, dude, you're really fucking up my shit now, too. Like, what if you have to answer to Gwendolyn Post now? Do you think that you'll enjoy that?
Yeah. I thought Gwendolyn Post was going to come there to kind of take over.
That's what I thought, too.
Duties. Yeah.
But that was such a good scene.
Duty, sorry.
Such a good Giles scene. Mm-hmm. And then Buffy just kind of sheepishly slinks away out of the office. She's like, okay, fine. So Gwendolyn Post shows up to Faith's apartment, which is like a rundown kind of shitty studio apartment.
Being a Slayer doesn't pay well at all. Or anything.
Absolutely, it doesn't. Well, yeah, I was going to say she couldn't make the rent that one time that we saw her at her apartment.
Yeah, but people killed the landlord, so it's fine.
That's true. So it's free. So now it's free.
Yeah.
And Gwendolyn Post is like talking to her about like, oh, wow, you're living in kind of a shitty apartment. And she's like, yeah, well, it's home. And she's like, you know what? No, I actually like it. Because this is how the Spartans used to live. They didn't need anything extra. They didn't need all of this accoutrement. They just needed stuff that they needed to become excellent fighters. Do you know anything about the Spartans? And Faith is like, I guess they're from Spart. Why are they making Faith sound like such a fucking idiot?
Yeah, I don't know.
And the accent is awful.
It's in and out, man. It's like certain words get an accent play.
It's terrible. Mm-hmm. But Gwendolyn's like, all right, I'm going to be your watcher. And look, it's not going to be fun. All right. There's going to be points in time where you absolutely hate me. But you're going to become the best Slayer ever under my training. Are you cool with that? And Faith is like, I mean, I guess. And she's like, well, you don't want to stay with Giles. I mean, Giles, that guy, he runs things so American and he has his little secret meetings with Buffy and Buffy's friends. And then Faith is like, and I guess that doesn't include me. I didn't know that there was going to be any kind of secret meeting. What's going on? Why am I not included in this stuff? Mm-hmm. And so now Gwendolyn Post is playing into Faith's insecurities. Mm-hmm. And then so she's like, all right, let's get to training. All right. And then Faith's like, yeah, fuck Buffy, fuck Giles, fuck all those people. Those aren't my real friends. You're my real friend, lady who I met yesterday.
Like, it is really like grooming and recruiting. It's really like insidious the way these watchers do. Oh, I know what I wanted to bring up. When in the beginning, when they were in the cemetery and Giles is just creepily watching these two hot teenagers fighting, right? Like, I mean, if you just walk by, because it's like the werewolf hunter when he saw this guy with Buffy. He's like, whoa, what's going on? You know? And I think they had to have the other watcher show up, be a female watcher. Mm-hmm. Because then it was just like, wait.
Two old men watching these two.
It's just like, so Slayers are hot teenage girls and all the watchers is just this group of like bookish older men.
Yeah, and Watcher is like a creepy name for him to have.
Yeah, and it's just like they hang out in high schools and stuff. I'm like, ooh, this is getting a little iffy. So they had to have a female watcher show up to like kind of tamper that down. But it is something.
Well, it's also in this scene too, Gwendolyn also kind of makes a little reference to her being a little jealous that Giles gets to have a social life. He doesn't have a social life. He hangs out with fucking Xander and Oz. Xander, who he hates.
His social life got killed. His social life got killed. And he only hooks up with Joyce when he's high on candy bars.
That is true. But she's like, that's no matter. Let's get to training. And then Faith's like, you mean like just beating the shit out of stuff? And Gwendolyn's like, yeah. She's like, I'm in. They made Faith seem like such an idiot in this scene, dude.
Yeah. I like the stuff that they have Faith doing, but I feel like they get there really clunky. She's like, what? Guy? Guy bad. I don't like. Boys are evil. Like,
yeah.
It's no nuance to her. It's just like, all right, we got to get, she has to say this to get to this.
Yeah. So then at school, Buffy goes up to Willow. She's feeling a little awkward about everything because she had that intervention. And Willow's at her locker, and Buffy goes up. She's like, hey, how long is everybody going to be mad at me. How pissed is everybody? I'm sorry about... Hold on. She does not say sorry. Because that was a note that I wrote down throughout this entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
Buffy apologizes to no one.
She doesn't believe she has anything to apologize for.
Even though she's doing all this fucked up stuff, lying, keeping secrets, apologizes to no one. And it infuriated me. I wrote it like...
Would you have accepted her apology, Joe?
It would have at least been a symbolic, like, even if you don't mean it, you have to say the words. Like, I wrote this down in a separate... Like, I have my show notes about, like, what's going on in each scene. This is a separate show note that I kept down. I was like, Buffy apologizes to no one.
Hey, it's me, the Quenchies. I'm that late afternoon craving you just can't shake. Wait, what's that? Welch's Grape Aid? No! Made with real fruit and no added sugar, nothing answers the call of the Quenchies like Grape Aid. Got the Quenchies? Grab a Grape Aid in your juice aisle.
Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadline so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Well, in this show, you get in an argument and then you beat up a demon and then everything's solved at the end. That's how this season has worked.
I mean...
Buffy ran away. People hated it. Zombies broke into the house. They fought them, and then everyone was cool. Like, that's the show structure now.
So she's talking to Willow about, like, oh, man, everybody's pissed off at me, huh? Secrets, huh? And then Willow's like, yeah, secrets! Secrets, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. You know, in fact, sometimes secrets are really good, and we should keep more secrets about everything in the world. Let's all keep secrets and never tell anybody our secrets.
Buffy's the worst detective in the world.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, yeah, okay. And then she's like, yeah, I'm going to keep secrets some more. Okay. Anyway, so I got a plan to ambush Lagos. And Willow's like, let me guess. Since you have the glove, you're going to go to where the glove should be and you're going to stake it out and wait for him to show up. And then you're going to fucking kick his ass. And Buffy's like, yeah, actually, that's pretty much exactly what I'm going to do. Wow, you're a way better detective than I am.
Yeah, like, it's very... Yeah.
So Xander is playing pool all by his lonesome at the Bronze now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's furiously whacking these balls into each other.
Yeah.
And Faith shows up. And Faith's like, so what's going on, man? Heard that you all had a little powwow without me. Think that's a little rude that I wasn't included. And Xander's like, oh, it was a powwow indeed. We had a lot of fucked up stuff to bring up to Buffy, and we had to talk with her. And Faith's like, well, what kind of fucked up stuff? What do you talk about? And Xander's like the fact that Angel is still alive, and I saw Buffy making out with him. And Faith's like, Angel's still alive? The guy that tried to kill all of you and end the world? And Xander's like, the one and only.
Yeah.
And Faith's like, that's really bullshit that Buffy didn't tell me, at least. I mean, I'm a Slayer. Maybe I could understand. And Xander's like, she didn't tell any of us, dude. So welcome to the party. And Faith's like, you know what we should do?
I mean, Xander has this way about him where all the girls are just coming to him. Like, he's a chick magnet. Like, honestly, like he's now hanging out with Faith, like, on solo tips. Like,
so Faith is then like, you know what I think I'm going to do? Since we all know that Angel's evil and we all know that he stole the glove, I'm going to go fucking find that guy and I'm going to kill him. I'm going to slay him. And Xander puts his pool stick down and in the most creepy way possible goes, can I come too? And Faith is like, yeah, sure, dude. I don't know why you're being so creepy about this, but yeah, sure.
I'd say more intense than creepy, but yeah.
Well, it reminded me of that line that he had when they were in the hospital together. And he's like, you're going to die and I'm going to be there.
Yeah, that was intense. I would say that's more intense than creepy.
Yeah, no, but this harkened back to that because it was like he wants to be there to see Angel die.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, cool.
Rightfully so. Like, I feel like at this point, he'll deal with the Buffy fallout later.
Yeah.
He's juggling 2 girls already.
Yep.
Like, if he kills Angel with Faith will still like him and know that he's one of the good guys or whatever.
Yeah, and then he'll start hooking up with Faith.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, so I lost one Slayer friend, but I got another
Slayer.
I got another Slayer. The rule is to have at least one Slayer on your side.
So they leave, and they're off to go kill Angel. So now we got Giles at the library doing some research with Gwendolyn Post, and he's doing research by himself, and Gwendolyn Post shows up, and she's like, she's talking to him about like, I was gonna start training Faith and all this stuff, and Giles is like, this is your first Slayer, huh? And she's like, how could you tell?
That's the moment. I'm like, wouldn't everyone talk to Giles and be like, how do you do the Slayer thing? You should have to go to meetings to like tell people how to interact when you get a Slayer. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Like, there should definitely be a memo. There's got to be a Watcher newsletter.
Well, I think he mentioned something at the end about
it. He does. Yeah.
But it's just like Giles gets treated like he's like this underling of the Watcher community.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the most important asset.
Yeah.
So I would
like, why would they trust that? Like, if all of the Watchers think that he's such a big dum-dum, why would they trust him to have a Slayer?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like they would just send someone to replace him, and he'd be like, well, I can't go against the council's order, whatever this Illuminati group is.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, this is your first Slayer, huh? And then Gwendolyn's like, does that make you respect me less? And he's like, no, I respect you a ton, dude. I respect you. You have a way more books than I do. You seem like you got stuff put together, and maybe I have been doing things too American. But this too American way figured out a bunch of stuff about the glove of Midigon and Lagos. So why don't you kiss my ass?
Yeah, he's like, I figured out a way to destroy the glove.
Yeah. She's like, what? How do you do it? And he's like, well, it's in this book right here. And Gwendolyn Post is like, wow, your 12 books that you have in this gigantic library actually really helped this out. Thank you. This is amazing, Giles. And he's like, yeah, let me go get the book right here. And then she grabs a little club and just whacks him over the head with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh God, oh.
And I'll say this, to Giles' credit, didn't fall out immediately.
Did not. He's sitting in his chair and he looks up at her and she's like, thank you, Mr. Giles. And then hits him again, but except didn't hit him at all. This staging is terrible. She completely misses him and he falls in the opposite direction that she hit him in.
She hits him on what would be his left cheek, and he somehow falls that way.
Yeah. So now, classic Giles, knocked out.
Yeah, I just wrote down, Giles knocked out by Watcher.
Yep.
We're in the end game. That's how you know the show's about to end. That's when you got like maybe 10 minutes left in the episode.
That's so true.
Hey, are you almost done with your show? Giles hasn't been knocked out yet.
Oh, yeah, we gotta do that. Because if he was alive, this would be solved very quickly.
He gets knocked out so much.
Yeah, man. Poor Giles.
And he's he's still a physical threat too. Like, he's not like a pushover.
Well, and he's also large. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude. He's smart, but I mean, if you got knocked out this much, you'd be like, I don't know how I'm still alive.
I mean, and we saw in the last episode, he went toe to toe with Mr. Trick and like at least punched him in the face.
Well, then Mr. Trick threw him. He
beat up a cop. Beat up an old guy cop. Beat up an elderly cop and stole his gun.
We've seen him beat up vampires in a frat house and stuff. Like,
we saw him with the fucking bat made of fire to beat up Angel.
Yeah.
Like, he's a threat.
Yeah.
But he's also not a threat at all.
Just a little, at least his head is getting stronger,
I know. Is this like kind of like how Muay Thai people like they kick banana trees to harden their shins? Yeah. Like if he gets hit in the head too many times, his skull is just going to be granite.
That will be the best moment in this show if that happens. If he gets hit over the head and someone thinks they're going to knock him out, he's like, I've been knocked out too many times.
I've been preparing for this.
Yeah, I hope that happens.
So Giles is knocked out. Willow and Buffy are at the graveyard waiting for Lagos to show up, and they're just having a little gal chit chat. And Buffy's like, "How long could Giles really be mad at me? I mean, come on, it's me, it's Buffy, it's the Buffster. He's not gonna be mad at me for forever. Right?
It's not like I'm Xander or somebody."
She has no concept of the wrong that she has done. And Willow's like, you know what? It's probably not that bad. He'll get over it. And then they talk a bit more about secrets and about like how good they are. And then it switches to how bad they are. And
well, Willow is like turned on. Ask her if having her secret with Angel
was like super sexy.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, no, not really. Honestly, it felt bad to be lying to all my friends. And now that the secret's out, it kind of feels good. I don't have to hide it anymore.
And I wrote down, Buffy is a prude. She really is. Like, Willow's like, oh, having this secret is like really sexy and dirty. And then when Faith was like, hey, after slaying, I get hungry and horny. Yeah. And Buffy's like, I have a low-fat yogurt. And like,
Buffy had to have been raised Catholic. She has that Catholic guilt about like any kind of sexual stuff. Yeah. Like anytime somebody wants to talk about like, so you guys kissing? She's like, a lady never kisses and tells. Okay?
Smooches.
Yeah, she's so awkward.
Yeah, that's because she's only slept with a dead guy.
Yeah. But after Buffy's kind of like, no, it actually wasn't very sexy. Willow's like, oh, fuck. Okay, well, if we're going to be... Since you revealed your secret, except that you didn't, we all found out about your secret and confronted you. I'm going to reveal a secret to you. I've been holding in the secret for a long time, and it's been weighing on me, and it's really bothering me at this point, and I need to tell somebody. I need to get this off my chest really bad. And Buffy's like, okay, what is it? And then Willow looks up and she goes, there's a demon right behind you. And Buffy's like, what? And then she stands up, turns around, and it's Lagos.
This is where the drop kick happens.
Yeah. Buffy drop kicks and
which
has
I
no
love
effect.
That. Yeah, which I love that move.
Yeah. And then Lagos just picks her up, chucks her at a tomb as well. Buffy gets up. They start fist fighting, and her fist fighting has no effect on him. And then he starts to beat her up. She somehow reverses, grabs the giant axe off of his back, and just beheads this demon. And then is just like, all right, well, that's over.
Yep, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah. Just kind of like dusts her shoulders off. And like, all right. So
I guess we didn't even need to look for the glove.
Yeah, we just killed that guy.
Yeah. I loved Willow's reaction shots in this fight
there's
scene.
like 4 of them.
She is just standing where she was standing before, and I feel like they filmed it all in one shot take, and she's not really watching the fight at all. Because she's just standing in a spot being like, ooh, throws her hands up, winces. I was like, she needs an Emmy for this performance. It's like, they asked her to do every reaction possible. Okay, Buffy's being thrown on the ground. Ooh, Buffy got an uppercut. Yeah. Like
that's so true.
I know they were just throwing out stuff to her to react to. Because she doesn't move an inch. She doesn't go to help. She doesn't shift from her spot.
Yeah, she even makes mention at the beginning. She's like, I know that I'm not very useful slaying, so I'm kind of a liability here with you, but I just wanted to talk secrets with you.
It gets to the point where, like, she's standing there, the fight happens, and Buffy just walks back to where she's standing.
Yeah, she grabs the axe, which has a bunch of, like, red nail polish painted on it, which is supposed to be demon blood. And she's like, so wait a second, what was the secret that you were about to tell me? And then Willow's like, I opened my SAT booklet 5 minutes early and I felt bad about it and I kind of cheated. And Buffy's like, don't worry. That lame ass secret is safe with me. I've just been hooking up with an undead vampire that was trying to end the world, but yeah, whatever. And they just walk off.
Buffy's not like, wait, that was making you horny?
Yeah. That's the sexy secret.
That's a sexy secret.
That's what's been keeping you up at night, huh? So now Xander and Faith go to the library and they're all jazzed up about killing Angel. They're like, let's go get some weapons.
Oh, before this scene, this is where another line happens. When right after she tells her about the SAT book or whatever, they go arm in arm and they go, let's go bring Giles some happiness.
Give him some happy.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, what?
I mean,
it's just a weird coincidence.
That is a weird coincidence.
It's got some weird tones in this. Like,
yeah,
I didn't. And the wording is so weird too. Let's go bring Giles some happiness.
Yeah, that is.
It's not like let's go make Giles happy. That's like I don't know. It's like they could have just said let's go tell Giles.
Yeah,
let's give Giles the good news. Let's bring Giles some happiness. And then give him the happy again earlier from Xander.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm seeing the connections now, and I was like,
the wording is there. It's like it's too close. Yeah. Because you would never say any of those for what you're saying.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone refer to like hooking up as giving somebody the happy.
And then saying, let's go bring Giles the happiness. I don't know. It was just one of those moments I caught a connection.
Yeah. Good catch.
Gotta watch out for this show.
So anyway, Xander and Faith, they're raiding the library for weapons. Xander's like, the library, home of all the information you could ever need and all of the slaying options you could ever want. And they open up Giles' closet of weapons and they're just throwing all of them. They each pick up like 5 and they're stuffing them in their pants.
Well, she picked, Xander says, I want the crossbow. And did you notice what the weapon that Faith took? It was like a bat with like a hook on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to do some damage, dude.
And they've been going into battles bare-knuckled.
Yeah. Well, it's also like neither of those weapons are going to kill Angel, I don't think.
The crossbow wood is wood.
Yeah, I guess that is wood. Like, but the tip is metal, it looked like.
Yeah, but when the wood goes in there, I think wood touches the heart, it's done.
Okay. So then they're starting to walk away, and then they hear in the background. They hear
I wrote my British Giles moan.
They have a very British. Yeah. And then it was like, wait a minute, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Runs into Giles' office, sees Giles all knocked out. And he's like, oh my God, what the hell happened here? Giles, we need help. And Faith is like, we don't have time to deal with this old man. We obviously know who did this. It's Angel. He got the glove and he knocked Giles out. And then Xander, in a moment of clarity here, is like, this isn't Angel's style. He wouldn't just knock Giles out. And Faith is like, what are you talking about? What more evidence do you need that this is Angel? And he's like,
any evidence.
2 bite marks on his neck for one to start.
Like any evidence. Giles has been knocked out in his office every 2 days.
Yeah.
So like
by everybody.
Yeah.
I think that we knocked Giles out at one point at this point.
He might just like trip over a desk and hit his head or something.
We knocked him out. We knocked him out with our microphones. It was just like,
and
bloody hell.
And I was shocked that Xander was so worried about Giles.
Yeah. He's
been knocked out so many times and no one has like, oh my God, we have to get him to the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, but Xander, I mean, good on him. At this point, he's like, no. This definitely is an Angel. We need to get some help. Yeah. Faith is like, I don't give a shit about this guy. He's not my watcher anymore. He's been keeping secrets from me. And guess what? You're not my friend right now because you care about Giles. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about either of you. I'm going to go kill Angel myself. Deuces.
I'm going to go kill this guy I've never met, have no real animosity towards, based off of hearsay stories. Don't even know what he looks like.
Nope.
Not sure you told me where he was.
Yeah. So she leaves.
Dude, I hated that they jumped. I would have liked it if Xander thought it was Angel. But for Faith to think it was Angel here, and then to be like, I'm doing it, screw you. I just thought that was such a forced leap of
Yeah, it would be more in Xander's character to be like, Angel definitely did this.
This is if Faith was like, I don't know if this was Angel. He's like, this is what he does. He messes with your mind, you know?
Yeah. But also, so Xander's on the phone. He's calling 911 to pick up Giles or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we get a brief scene of Angel doing the spell that's going to destroy the
living flame.
The living flame spell, yeah. Buffy shows up to the library with Willow to talk to Giles about, hey, we killed Lagos. And
wait, didn't you think it was weird that the scene from the pool table, like, let's go get Angel, led to, let's go to the library, pick up weapons?
Yeah.
I was like, you're back at school?
Yeah. Buffy shows up to the library and she finds a bunch of medical staff taking Giles out on a stretcher. And she's like, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? What happened to Giles? Giles has a big fucking bandage on his head that's purple where he's been bleeding.
Yeah.
And he's like, Buffy, you have to do the living flame spell. You have to do the living flame spell. And I was like, this is the wrong information. You need to be relaying to Buffy right now. And she's like, okay. And then so they take Giles away to go to the hospital.
Well, yeah, the EMT or person is like, hey, I have to go if we're going to help him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he's never left to go to a hospital before. And also they should arrest Buffy for her involvement in this somehow.
Yeah, Snyder should be in there. I knew it.
Last time the cops didn't ask any questions. But people have been murdered in that library.
Yeah. People have been murdered all over this school.
This library is a crime scene that just should be cordoned off.
I mean, 6 episodes ago, we had a chalk outline of Kendra done dirty on the ground in this library. And now Giles is knocked out. They're taking him away. So they take Giles away to go into the ambulance, take him to the hospital. And Buffy turns to Xander. And she's like, what happened? And Xander, what do you think happened? All right, your boy toy that you've been making out with came here and fucking knocked him out. And I was like, why are you doing this now?
Right? That was the thing. It was like he went from, Faith, I don't think this was Angel, to now he sees Buffy and he goes like, yeah, it definitely was Angel. Yeah. And I hated this turn. Like, I was like, let him be consistent throughout. Like in the last scene, if he was the one that said, I think this is Angel, Faith would have just believed it. She believes what anybody tells her.
Yeah, I mean, Faith is a big dumb dipshit in this episode, at least.
Like, she's just like, tell her what she wants to hear and she'll do it. She's like a weird hitman person.
Yeah, Faith is the muscle.
Yeah. Hey, this person said something weird to my sister. We'll go beat her up.
You know how you can tell she's the muscle? That sweet, sweet tattoo. That sweet bicep tribal tattoo.
True.
That's all you need to know. Anybody with that is the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So Buffy's like, what do you think happened? Or Xander's like, what do you think happened? Your boy toy Angel came and knocked him out and he's got the glove and he's going to kill us all. And Buffy's like, he would never. And Xander's like, and you know what else? Faith is going over to go kill him right now. And Buffy's like, what? She knows where he is. She knows what he looks like. She knows everything that he... And Xander's like, doesn't matter. She's going to go kill him. And then she's like, how much of a head start does she have on me? And Xander goes, about 10 minutes. Why would you even tell her?
Why does it matter?
Why would you tell Buffy at all the plan of Faith going to kill her? Just be like, yeah, go. You should go with Giles in the ambulance and then just have Faith kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't understand the specifics of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Either. Like, it's such a specific time to give for it not to matter at all. Like, we don't know how long it takes to get. We don't even know where the place is that they're going.
So Buffy,
is it a 10-minute head start on foot? Does
10 minutes.
Does Faith have a car? There's no Ubers or Lyfts. I haven't seen a cab.
Buffy can't drive. Yeah. So she's going to be on foot. We know that at least.
Does Willow have a car, I guess? I don't know.
No Lime scooters. No Bird scooters. I think they were Razor scooters.
They were Razor. That would be amazing.
That would have been awesome.
It's just like a montage of her doing tricks down like suburban streets to get to
this place. Just does a backflip off of a curb. An unnecessary backflip, like how she does when she fights.
That thing where you like spin it, or you jump and you like spin it.
Yeah, tail whip.
Yeah.
I had a razor scooter. Your boy did some tricks on his razor scooter. Anyway, that's a story for another time.
No, it's not.
You completed the story.
Yeah, that's the end of the story.
So Buffy runs off to go catch up with Faith. Gwendolyn Post shows up to where Angel is, who's doing the spell still. And she's like, oh, what's this? And Angel's like, who are you? And she goes, oh, I'm Gwendolyn Post. I'm a friend of Rupert Giles. He sent me here to help you. Is this the living flame spell to destroy the glove of Midigon? And Angel's like, yeah, it is. And she's like, all right, cool. That's really nice of you to tell me that. Let me just grab this shovel here and just hit you over the top of the head with it.
Yeah. I like that it looks like Angel knows when she mentioned Giles that as soon as she mentioned Giles, he knows something's up with her.
Yeah, he looks suspicious the whole time.
Yeah, because he's like, I know that Giles wouldn't be like, oh, go see Angel, my old friend.
Yeah.
You know? And also he knows that Buffy was going to tell Giles that she found it.
Yeah, and also Buffy has been telling Angel that she's not going to tell anybody that he's alive again. So when Gwendolyn Post shows up, it's like, I'm friends with Giles. Is that the living flame spell? Go get the glove.
Yeah. How... And he tells her where the glove actually is. I thought he was telling her a fake location.
He tells her where it is. He tells her it's in a trunk, and he starts walking over towards the trunk.
Yeah.
And that's when she grabs a shovel and just slams his head with it.
I guess he didn't think that he wasn't suspicious. He has a suspicious look, but he told her everything.
Yeah.
He told her where it was. Like, I don't know.
For a 200-and-some-plus-year-old person, he's very trusting.
I mean, he's been traumatized. Like, he's still doing Tai Chi to get his mind right.
True. Very true.
It was interesting. I have a question now. How did she know where to find him?
Giles. No, actually, he didn't. He told her where to get the glove. How did she know where to find him?
Yeah, he told her what could destroy the glove, but he didn't know where it was.
I think. Did Xander tell her?
Faith would have had to tell her, but like, Xander had told Faith where.
Yeah, the only people Faith where
the only people that know that Angel is in it's like Willow and Xander, and I guess Xander could have told all of them in that room.
Mm-hmm. But Gwendolyn Post wasn't there.
No.
Yeah, I don't know how she found him.
Yeah,
that's a good little plot hole.
It would be like Faith. He would have had to tell Faith, and Faith would have had to be like, "Hey, I'm just checking in on my watcher because I'm now I'm just like not a rebel anymore, and I just have to go fight Angel at this place." Like that's the only.
Yeah, this isn't making much sense.
Yeah, I just thought of it now. I didn't think about it when I was watching it.
Yeah, a good catch.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
So she knocks him out with the shovel, and then she's trying to open the trunk that's locked. She's trying to like use the shovel to open the trunk, and she can't do it. And then Angel just pops right back up after getting knocked out for like 3 seconds, and he goes, "Ooh!" And now he's got a vampire face. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Ooh, that really fucking hurt. Time to beat the shit out of you."
She was like, "That was supposed to kill you."
He's like, "Well, it didn't." And then he starts beating up Gwendolyn Post, and then
she breaks the shovel. Yeah, she breaks the shovel. She was like, because she's gonna stab him.
Yeah,
with the thing.
Yeah.
So we know that she's not a vampire or a demon.
Yeah,
she's just a person.
She breaks the shovel over. She's like, ordinarily that should have killed a human. So you're definitely not a human. So I think that this is your poison, and she's gonna stake him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they start fighting. Faith shows up, sees vampire-faced Angel, who she thinks is evil. Mm-hmm. Fighting Gwendolyn Post, who she thinks is her watcher and is a good person.
Or her mom.
Or Mommy.
The show has a lot of daddy issues. We need more mommy issues.
Very true. Yeah. Very fair.
Even though we do have a mom in here.
Yeah. Well, Joyce, she's an absentee mom, basically. She's, for as much as Buffy complains about her, it's... So Faith shows up. She starts jumping to conclusions. She starts fighting Angel. Mm-hmm. And then Angel kind of like beats her up. Faith, for as much as they're like she's a vicious fighter, she gets tossed a lot.
Yeah, because Buffy killed Lagos.
Yeah.
Faith just got pummeled by him.
Buffy killed him like in 15 seconds.
Yeah. They were like, we don't even need, I don't even know why we named this character. He's just going to die.
Yeah. So then Faith gets up and then she starts beating the shit out of Angel. She tosses Angel. She tosses him over a couch and he knocks his head on the couch and he's like laying on an ottoman at a certain point. And then she stands up over him. She's got a stake. She has the big dramatic over the head stake pose. And then she goes to stab him and Buffy just grabs her hands to stop her, and Faith goes, "What?"
That what was amazing.
What?
Now, I would have loved for this scene to have so much more misunderstandings and confusion. Faith walks in. She thinks he's attacking a Watcher. She fights him. Faith pins down Angel. Buffy comes in and thinks Faith's trying to sleep with Angel. Xander shows up. He thinks,
Xander shows up and he's like, "How come I can't get any Slayer action? I thought I had an in with Faith."
Then Oz is there and he catches Willow making out with
Xander to make Faith and Buffy jealous. And Oz starts making out with Gwendolyn Post.
And it's just so much confusion. They're like, who's the bad guy here?
Yeah, and Giles comes from the hospital. He sees them making out with Gwendolyn Post. And
he's on crutches for some reason, too.
He's in a wheelchair. He starts crying. He's missing. He has a vision of Jenny Calendar again.
Yeah, it just turns into like a sitcom the last 10 minutes.
Oh, man. But yeah, Buffy stops her. Wait, what? Then we have Xander and Willow in the library trying to do the living flame spell themselves, which I thought that this scene was very, very weird.
Well, they don't know that Angel has it already. Like his Angel's already been setting out a spell. She never gets to tell him that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So they're starting to do
and
that spell themselves.
He didn't start the spell before. Like that's like a random scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "How much time? What do we need to complete the spell?" And I forget what Willow says, but they're both like, "We don't have time for this." And then they just pack up all of their stuff and start running towards the mansion.
I think they finished it. I think she threw all the dust or whatever, because we saw Angel. He was throwing like powder in the flames and was making colored flame or whatever.
I don't know. The point is they're running. They're running to the mansion. So now, after Buffy has stopped Faith and Buffy start duking it out. They're not holding back on each other. They're going at it. Slayer, cat fight and a half.
And there are a lot of grunts in this scene.
Yeah. And
it's
Gwendolyn
like watching a women's tennis match. It's like one of those.
Gwendolyn Post is like influencing Faith. She's like, "Get her. She's trying to keep Angel alive and he's obviously evil and he's trying to use the glove for evil." And Faith is like, "That's all I needed to hear." And they keep fighting there. And I gotta say, Angel is knocked out, and he's been knocked out from being tossed onto a couch way longer than he was knocked out for getting hit in the head with a shovel.
Well, this scene I wrote down, everyone gets knocked out. Everyone gets knocked out in this scene. Honestly, like everyone gets knocked out in this one.
I mean, but Angel is like, I was
Xander
like,
gets tossed later. Like
that is true. Yeah. So they're just fighting for a long. This is an extended fight scene. So extended that Willow and Xander had time to show up at the mansion.
Yeah, they had a 10-minute head. She had another 10-minute head start. This thing is like right around the corner, probably.
Yeah. Gwendolyn Post is then trying to help Faith, and Xander shows up and Willow show up, and Xander's trying to help everybody, and he sees that they're fighting and he's like, "Guys, you gotta stop fighting. This isn't helping anybody." And then Faith just tosses him. She's like, "Get the hell out of my way, you pussy," and she knocks him out.
Yep.
Buffy and Faith still fighting. And during all this, Gwendolyn Post eventually opens the trunk, puts the glove of Mitigan on.
She knocks out Willow before this, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. She does knock out Willow.
Somehow Willow.
No. She puts on the glove. She puts on the glove and then knocks out Willow. Punches her with the glove.
Yeah.
So Willow gets knocked out, and then fucking Gwendolyn Post points the glove to the sky, and she's saying some kind of spell, and then lightning strikes the glove, and she looks at Faith and Buffy, who are like, "Oh shit, Gwendolyn Post is evil." And then Gwendolyn looks to Faith and she goes, "Faith, a word of advice. You're an idiot."
That moment that made it worth it.
Absolutely. Because she's right.
She just straight up called Faith an idiot.
Lightning strikes the glove. And then now Gwendolyn Post has the power to shoot lightning from her hands as long as she says this incantation of like, "Washita! Washita!"
Yeah.
This is the lamest path. This is what we were worried about.
This is so... If she had a gun, she would have been better off. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
She has a glove now on her hand that she can never take off.
Yep.
That shoots lightning at like a very finite space.
Yeah.
Like she can't just put lightning over the whole room.
Yep.
It's like, oh, here, bang. Here, bang. And she's missing. She is missing with this glove.
Yeah, because Buffy and Faith have a little powwow, and they're like, "How are we going to attack this? Faith, do you think that you can draw her fire?" And Faith's like, "Absolutely, I can." And then Faith just like runs across the screen.
Yeah. And she misses.
And then she misses shooting Faith. So Buffy and Faith burst through a window in their fight scene, and now there's just shards of glass all over the ground.
Is that what she picked up?
That's what I think she picked up.
I thought she picked up something metal that had like, I mean, I don't know where it would have been there.
She picks up a ninja star.
Yeah,
basically.
I thought it was something like that. Yeah.
She picks up something sharp, and then she goes, "Hey, Gwendolyn, guess what?" She turns around, and Buffy just chucks this ninja star piece of metal or glass at Gwendolyn Post, and it just takes her arm completely off.
Mm-hmm.
And the glove falls to the ground. Gwendolyn's like, "Oh no!" And then lightning strikes Gwendolyn Post for some reason and kills her and fries her, and she has this horrible death.
Yeah, you can never take the glove off. And I guess once it latches on, I don't know. Who cares? This glove sucked.
Yeah, it sucked so hard.
I was like, it just shoots. Wait, you have to take lightning from the sky and then shoot lightning out of your hands? And this is the thing that a demon was looking for?
Yeah, I don't know how this... Like, the demon seemed stronger without the glove.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so silly.
Yeah,
and then after Gwendolyn dies, like, the gloves, like, little tongs.
Yeah.
They all unclip from her dead arm.
Yeah.
So silly. And then everyone's like, all right, well, let's destroy the glove.
We're all friends again. Let's have a bonfire.
Dude. So then the next...
They never solve any of the issues that cause the rift.
Yeah.
They just destroy the demon threat.
Yeah, and this next scene is exactly what you're talking about. It's the next day at school. They're all sitting around in the lounge area, it looks like. And then so it's Oz, Willow, Xander, and Cordelia, and they're talking about what happened last night, and they're kind of debriefing about everything. And Oz is like, "Man, sounds like I missed all the fun." And then Xander's like, "You didn't miss any fucking fun. It wasn't fun. You thought it was fun? This isn't fun."
Like, Oz has nothing. It's like he didn't want to be there that day. Like, like, it's just like, because I wrote in my note, like, why is Oz not a part of this?
I don't know.
He's just like, "Oh, Willow, did you do something dangerous last night?" Cool. I was studying because I really have to study. Like,
yeah. I was chained up because I was potentially a werewolf.
Maybe he was playing the Bronze that night.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he, like, all of his lines are just like one-liner, flat. Like, he doesn't.
Yeah. No emotion at all.
None of the Oz, like, dry humor type stuff that we're used to.
Yeah. So Buffy shows up while everybody's talking, and she sits down next to Xander, and she just goes, "Hey, so are we cool?" And Xander goes, "Yeah, we're cool." I saw you making out with Angel, and I saw him grabbing the glove, and I went a little postal. That's on me. And then Cordelia's like, I'm not fucking cool.
Thank you, Cordelia.
She's like, I don't forgive you. The last time this guy was around, he tried to kill me, and I care about me. I'm cool with me.
Yeah.
If he tries to fucking kill me again, I hate you.
Yeah. I was like, 100%. Like, nothing was solved.
Yeah. So, I just want to reiterate again. Buffy apologized to no one. This is the closest to an apology we get from Buffy is, hey, are we cool?
Yeah, I think I was kind of noting that when I was like, why is Buffy asking Xander if they're cool? Like, it was a weird, like, and I think her issue should be less with Xander and more with Giles, too. Like, she still has to rectify that relationship.
Yeah, except that she doesn't, because Giles shows up and they're like, oh, so what was up with that Gwendolyn Post lady? She tricked us all. Was she even a watcher? And he's like, no, actually, she was a watcher. Turns out we got a memo. I remember seeing a memo a while back about a watcher that kind of went postal and started dealing with the dark arts. And that was her. So, good riddance.
Background checks.
Yeah, right? Maybe we...
Hey, teenage girls, when someone just shows up with a British accent and says, hey, I'm your watcher, just
Yeah, ask 3 questions, maybe?
Maybe ask around, maybe be a little more cautious. Hey, Willow, you have watcher potential. Hop in the back of this van. Let me...
Yeah. And so they're all like, wow, that's craziness. Buffy's like, all right, well, I gotta go. I gotta do SAT prep or something. I gotta go to class.
There are no days off, man.
No.
I mean... Giles is back at school, head bandaged up, like the next day.
Yeah, he doesn't have his glasses on, so he can't see.
They made it seem like he might die if they don't get to the hospital soon.
Yeah,
and they didn't keep him overnight.
I got books to read. I got books that I gotta get back to.
I have filing I need to do.
So Buffy leaves, and where she's actually going is she's going to Faith's apartment to not apologize to Faith. And Joe's fashion corner moment here. Buffy shows up and she's dressed like Jackie O or something. She has like a past the knee dress. She has a little orange cardigan on, and she's holding a little purse with both of her hands in front, and her hair is done up in a very 1950s way. So this is her forgiveness outfit.
Yeah.
So she shows up and she's all sheepish and she's like, hey.
Super diplomatic outfit, yeah.
And Faith is like, come in. So Buffy comes in and she's like, hey, just wanted to make sure. Are you all right last night? And Faith is like, yeah, last night got pretty crazy. And Buffy's like, I know, right? So I know that you've got a lot of trust issues. And I know that Gwendolyn Post just betrayed your trust. And you might feel like I betrayed your trust for keeping a secret from you for many months. Many months. And I just want you to know you can trust me. And Faith is like, are you fucking serious, dude? You think I can trust? I can trust you. You've been having secret meetings with all your friends that you don't include me in. You've been harboring a murderer for several months. Yeah, I'll trust you. I can trust you. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And Buffy's like, hey, take it or leave it. We're both Slayers. I'm here for you if you need me. Just remember that. And then Faith is like, get the hell out of my apartment.
Buffy should have been like, you wouldn't even exist if I didn't die.
Without me, you're nothing. Faith.
Also, this show, again, does not understand their, irony of the situation.
Right?
When Faith first showed up, she lied about her watcher.
Yep.
Being at a convention.
Yep.
Her watcher was dead. Her introduction to the show was her showing up, lying about her watcher, not telling people about the demon that she was on the run from.
And then keeping the demon a secret.
Keeping that a secret, keeping the watcher thing a secret. no irony. There's no like level of irony that they get when Buffy's saying like, "Trust me."
Yeah.
They don't call her out on her entrance. It's just so funny that the show misses those like perfect opportunities.
Yeah. So Faith is basically like, all right, cool. Yeah, I can quote unquote trust you. You can see yourself out now. And then Buffy starts to make a move towards the door. And then Faith's like, wait. And Buffy turns around. She's like, got puppy dog eyes. Wait, what? And then Faith's like, never mind. Leave. Buffy's like, okay.
Is that how it ends? I don't remember exactly.
That is how it ends. Well, this is how it ends. Okay. Buffy leaves. And then a shot lingers on Faith for a good 15 seconds while she's just sitting in bed like, I can't trust anybody. I don't have any friends. And then that's it.
Yeah, it's interesting that it became a Faith Buffy dilemma versus a Giles Buffy dilemma or a Xander.
Xander.
And here's the weird thing. We don't see them burn the glove. It's just like, okay, we burned it, whatever, we imply. They should all be talking about what to do about Angel.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
they should.
He still exists.
Yeah.
He's the person. Who cares about this glove and this demon?
Well, I think that they all saw Angel afterwards and they were like, oh, I guess he's a good guy. He's cool. Or did they see him because they were all knocked out?
They were all knocked out. Buffy waited for everyone to come to. And then they had a powwow and they were like, he just shook hands with everybody.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, that's the thing that they kind of just leave lingering. Because I don't care about Faith, how Faith feels about Buffy. Faith was an idiot. She got played.
Yeah. Like a fucking fiddle.
And she's like, well, she played all of us. I'm like, I mean, Faith, you were willing to do anything that anyone told you in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I wish they wouldn't make Faith be such a dumbass, dude.
Yeah.
And I wish that they would just give up on the accents. Accents are not working in this show. Kendra.
Like every other, it's like every 5 sentences an accent comes out.
I mean, and it's so bad that at a certain point I had to rewind to re-listen to something that she said because it just didn't sound like a word at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is Revelations. My prediction of Jesus coming back and dragons happening was wildly incorrect. Yours about Angel being folded back in were very correct.
Yeah, I figured Revelations would have to. I felt it was going to be like the double meaning.
Yeah.
Also, it just seems like it's the one meaning because there's no like this demon going for a glove had nothing to do with anything really.
It was such a small part of the episode.
I mean, at least make the weapon seem like it could be a threat. Like the whole time you're like, oh my god, someone get their hand on this, it's over. And they get their hands on it, you're like, oh, it's a lightning gun.
It shoots lightning. And not accurately.
Yeah. But yeah, Angel's kind of back, I guess.
Yeah,
like, I guess
he's been doing Tai Chi.
And because they all got knocked out, they all forgive him.
Yeah.
Like, nothing in this episode led to Angel getting forgiveness by other people, so we'll see.
Yeah. So that is it for Revelations, everybody. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at BoysWatchingBuffy. Subscribe and rate and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please. If you want to write into the email, we got boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. We have a Discord where we're pretty active on there, and that link is in the show notes. Don't forget about my shows in San Diego. That's also in the show notes. And yeah, I had a little bit of a spoiler type of deal because I saw the thumbnail for the next episode.
I saw the thumbnail too.
It's called Lover's Walk. And it looks like our boy Spike is back, and I am very excited about this. I want to see Mr. Trick and Spike interact.
Mr. Trick, Spike, team up to take down the mayor. Let's do it.
I'm just excited because I saw that fucking noodle hair in the thumbnail, and I was like, yes, my boy.
Yeah. Angel and Spike are back, and let's see if Angel ends up having a little bit more edge because I like Angelus.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have more edge because he still thinks that Buffy is with Scott, and he's like a meek little puppy.
Yeah, but I wonder if they could do like what they do with Thor in the Marvel movies, where he was very
He was very
British,
self-serious.
uptight. Yeah. And now he's just cracking jokes. So, like, yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe find a middle ground where he's like a little edgy.
Because Spike is the jokey guy.
Yeah. I mean, Spike's always been what Spike is.
Yeah.
But we've seen Angel become Angelus and be like, oh, Angelus has a vibe. And I just want that vibe, a little bit of that vibe to leak over to Angel. Because Angel could be more like, I'm in love with you. I'm sad. Like
he's a mopey prick right now.
Yeah.
So not interesting at all.
No.
Doing lame ass Tai Chi. Anyway, so
I'd do Tai Chi. I'd try Tai Chi.
You did?
I say I would.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Nah.
I feel like it's easier to meditate while you're moving.
I don't know. I would just do yoga. I feel like.
I mean, you do
hot yoga
stuff, so you're a different type of freak.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, thanks for listening once again, everybody, and we'll see you next time when we talk about Lover's Walk.
Let's go bring some happiness.
You point to the undead.
Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.